Do you think that what you're learning now and what we do at home will benefit you when you become an adult or when you have your own place?
I think so.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, I know how to take care of my house so it wouldn't look like a dump, so it looks presentable to other people that come in.
Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Diane Jimenez, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey, welcome back to episode number 45 of the Parenting Guide Organizing Habits Made Easy podcast. Thank you again for being here and joining us today. And what we're going to do is go back to the interviews that I was having with my kids over the summertime. Yes, it is long overdue, and this particular episode actually, was done back in June with my oldest one. Now, the episodes or the interviews were done fairly quickly, except for my last kid. It was during the summer, so everything pretty much slowed down. But my older 2 kids were interviewed quite early. I had a lot of momentum and gung-ho to get this done, but life happens, and editing longer episodes takes a lot of time. So right now it's ready. And I apologize for the delay, but this is so good. I just edited it, and I see the difference a little bit in the answers that my oldest one gives versus the younger ones, as well as a few similarities. So it's pretty cool. And I was thinking while I was editing this that my kids are right now 13, 11, and 10, that maybe I'll do another interview sometime in the future and see if anything has changed on their part in regards to helping out at home, helping out the siblings, what it feels like, things that they do like and don't like, and basically their perspective of maintaining the home and finding their place in the family and what it looks like for their future. So I'm curious for that for later on. But for now, if you want to listen to the previous episodes of the interviews with my kids, you can check out episode number 41 with Kelani. And then after that, listen to episode number 42 with Kenzo. So you can head to dianejimenez.com/41 or 42. You can also head to the blog on my website and grab the links right there in the show notes. Okay, without further ado, here is the 3rd episode of a 3-part series, my interview with my oldest son, Kai. Here we go. So in today's episode, we have a very special guest with us today, my son, Kai. So say hello, Kai.
Hello.
Are you nervous?
Kind of.
How come?
Because I might not have an answer to the questions.
That's okay. All right, we'll take it slow. We'll start with the first ones. I gave you a run through a little bit, so just so you all know, the audience knows that I'm interviewing my kids one at a time, and some of them, they may know the answer to the questions, they might not, and they're very nervous because it's the first time that they're getting interviewed. And so the little bit of coaching that I gave them is just try to be yourself, enunciate your words, and talk slowly so that the people can understand what we're saying and what you're saying, okay? So do your best. This is not a test, all right? So the first question is, what's your name?
My name is Kai, and I'm 13 years old.
Excellent. See, I didn't even have to ask you that question because you knew already. Okay. Stop reading the questions. So the reason why I'm interviewing you guys is that I want to know your opinion when it comes to doing chores and helping out at home and what you think about all of that, etc. But before you answer that question, I'll ask you first, do you like doing chores in the house?
Depends how I feel. When I'm playing a game and I have to go, I don't really like doing chores. But when I'm not doing anything, I don't really mind.
Okay, so you basically don't like being interrupted if you're in the middle of doing something
Yeah.
to do something else.
But if I have Kenzo and Kalani and I get interrupted, and I have Kenzo and Kalani who also get interrupted, I don't really mind because they can help me do the chores and it makes it much faster.
Okay, so do you think that's a normal thing that being interrupted is like a human thing, or is that just a Kai thing?
I think it's a human thing.
Okay, cool. Is there a particular chore that you prefer doing versus another one? What's your favorite chore?
I like dusting downstairs because it's fast.
Why? Okay, first of all, what do you use to dust?
I use the Swiffer.
Okay, and how do you do it? The Swiffering?
I put it on the stick thing,
Yes.
and after I dust all the surfaces with dust on them, and the shelves, and the place where the NASA is.
Okay.
The NASA Lego.
Okay. And do you remove the items from the shelf or the surface before dusting, or you just leave it as is and dust around the item?
Well, when there was a bunch of Legos on the windowsill, I just didn't bother doing it. But now that there's less Legos, I do it.
So just so you know and you understand, we have a lot of Lego in our house, and a lot of it is
Kenzo's.
It's not just Kenzo's, but we were running out of space because we don't have a dedicated Lego corner or a dedicated Lego shelf, right? Ever since we're getting rid of the tall shelf, there's no place to put our Legos. So we had the idea of putting it all on the windowsill downstairs in the basement, so it's out of the way and it can be displayed. But over the last couple of years, our youngest one has been using that as a play area, and not only keeping built Lego, what do you call them? Built Lego sets. He puts all the Lego mini pieces there, and all the little men hide there. So it's kind of like, I don't know.
It's his mountain base.
It's his mountain base. I don't know, but it's just individual pieces of Lego piled up on the windowsill. So you're telling me that ever since, like we just did a cleanup, I think 2 weeks ago, we put only the built Lego pieces there. So there's far less small little Lego pieces. We put that all back into the drawers. Are you lifting the pieces now?
Yeah, because there's less ones.
Oh, cool. But before that, you weren't.
Yeah, also because the blinds are closed, there's the back part that was never dusted, but now that the blinds are open, I dust that part too.
Why don't you just open it yourself when you're dusting? Why do you have to wait till someone else does it?
Oh, I didn't know that there was a back part until now.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
You know you open the blinds every morning, right? Like when you open the blinds in your room.
Yeah.
And the bay window, there's the back part, which is the window itself. You didn't... Oh my gosh. So basically you didn't know that there's that back area behind the blinds that need to be dusted too.
No, not really, because every time we go downstairs, they're always closed. So I thought that was how the blinds were supposed to be, so people don't like bend over and look at us while we're watching TV.
Yes, true, because the basement is like in the ground. So, but okay. Lesson learned for the parent to make it obvious for the kid to do the job properly. We have to make it obvious of what we want done. So if anyhow, we will get to that off interview. All right, so let's keep going. So you like dusting. Is there one that you don't like doing at all?
I don't like mowing the lawn.
When did you start mowing the lawn?
I think 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
When I was 10 and I still have my high-pitched voice.
I don't know. Anyhow, you don't like mowing the lawn because...
It's hot outside and it becomes repetitive, and the lawnmower is hard to move sometimes because there's clumps everywhere. And you gotta get those, like, the spots, which means you have to move the lawnmower and then have to go on it again. And sometimes I feel the stress of making it look nice and presentable. And if it's not presentable, I did a bad job.
No, I get it because everybody sees the lawn. Like when they drive by or they walk by, they can see the lines because it's very obvious anyhow. And plus your dad likes it a certain way. So
The king of the street.
he wants to be the king of the street. All right. But you do mow the front neighbor's lawn. So
Yep.
do you like that better than mowing our lawn?
Definitely not.
Why?
It's very long, and one of his portions of the lawn, they got like there's a tree there, and after there's like his stairs that just curve. I like the fact that he has more square stairs now, so I can just kind of get those spots, but it's still pretty difficult. Also, his backyard has like a slope, and after there's a rock part next to that slope, and after there's that little spot next to that slope, and after there's the shed, which is on kind of like an angle.
Oh.
So I have to go around there, and I have to like kind of pass the fence.
Yeah. So
And-
it's not so straightforward.
Yeah.
I get you. I understand that. Mowing my parents' lawn when I was your age, my mom always had flower beds here and there was different things on their lawn, and the lawn wasn't even. It's not as beautiful as the lawn that we have here, but some areas were very grassy and other areas were just dirt, and I had to mow there because there was some patches of grass. Anyways, I'm not going to get to that, but yeah, I hear you. When it's not a right angle, straightforward mow, it's a lot harder. That's why at our house, there are no flowers. It's just grass, and everything is in a right angle, right?
That's the way I like it.
Yes. So, okay, let's move on. If you had to choose between being told what to do as far as chores versus doing things on your own, which would you prefer?
Maybe sometimes being told what to do, because it's kind of like a reminder to do something else other than play stuff.
That's interesting that you say that as a break between playing things and always being on your device. Is that what you're getting to?
If I'm being told to do stuff and Kenzo and Kalani are gonna do it with me, I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing stuff on my own, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can keep up with everything. I don't know, it's stressful.
Meaning if you were an only child versus having siblings?
Well, if I was an only child, it'd be less clothes. But
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
So you're basically mentioning that whenever your siblings are around, you're more motivated to do the chores.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like divide and conquer the laundry.
You're always specifically talking about laundry, but there's other chores that we do.
Maybe when it comes to dusting, someone can dust upstairs and someone can dust downstairs. Mm-hmm. Or when it comes to like just doing chores, someone can probably sweep the front entrance, but then someone else can like wipe the windowsills, and someone else can do the toilet to get more points.
Okay. So basically doing it as a group effort and group work.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Okay. But is there any instances where it's just you doing it and the other two are playing?
Well, this might come back to laundry, but sometimes there's like not, because I usually choose pants and underwear
To fold pants?
to fold pants and underwear as my like kind of pile, and Kenzo is like the shirts, and Kalani sometimes just socks and underwear, so shirts too.
Okay.
But sometimes there's like not a lot of pants, or no, sorry, there's not a lot of shirts or not a lot of socks, so they finish up early. And for me, there's a lot of pants, so I'm just stuck up there while they're watching TV and I'm just folding.
And how does that make you feel?
Feels like I have to go like faster just so I can do the stuff I want, or else I'm gonna run out of time. And after it's gonna be time to do jujitsu or
Go to bed?
swimming
Or go to bed?
or go to bed.
Or do something else? Oh. Is your to-do list making you feel depleted, overwhelmed, stressed out, or you're feeling like there's never any time in the day to finish it all? I got something for you. Download my to-do list now. Oh, it's not any kind of to-do list. It's one that will help you gain awareness and to see if all the things on your to-do list have to be done by you, delegated, or completely removed from your list. Grab your to-do list now at dianejimenez.com/to-do list. Good luck. All right, so tell me this. How do you balance out chores between your siblings and yourself? Meaning, if there's a list of things to do, or if there's a list of things to do, how do you know who does what and when and how much and all that?
Well, our chore chart, we all know that it's like we all know that there's different chores, and some of them are harder and some of them are easier. But sometimes we kind of divide it, like if someone has to wipe the toilet, then another person will have to do two easier chores to kind of like level out the other person's harder chore to kind of keep it at an equal thing. Like if I was doing the toilet, Kenzo would have to dust upstairs and downstairs.
Okay.
And Kalani would have like to sweep the front entrance and wipe the windows.
Okay, my next question is, how do you find balancing out chores, all the activities that you have, like swimming, piano, Armenian school, jiu-jitsu, and all that? How do you balance that, or how do you find that balance with the chores?
Maybe in between school and jiu-jitsu, we kind of get as much things as possible. Or like in the morning, it's kind of like an automatic to do our daily activities. Or like in bed, I read 30 minutes so I can get that part done. Mm-hmm. Then I go up and I like fix my bed and I do my daily activities or as much as possible before having to go to school.
Okay, one of my last questions about chores. If you were a parent, now you're in my position, or you're in your dad's position, how would you go about distributing or introducing chores to your children, or how would you go about it?
Maybe when they're at a young age, I can show them like easier chores to do, or kind of like simple ones, such as like cleaning the table or putting away the plates, like to know where they go just in case anything happens. And maybe when they get older, I can introduce them to maybe less simple chores such as dusting or sweeping or wiping the table. And the older they get, the more complicating the chores will be. But I hope that when they're older, they'll kind of understand the basics of like the chores, and like they can kind of build up from that to do something else. Like if you're wiping the table, then you'll learn how to wipe the windows exactly like how you wipe the tables to get all the fingerprints off. And if you're sweeping, it's kind of like the same thing as mopping or vacuuming. And yeah, sometimes it'll be hard, but like I don't know, the older you get, it kind of gets easier to hold and do the things because
your hands are bigger.
And
you can understand, or you can do more, last longer.
You have more endurance on it. Yeah.
Do you find that the chores that we do at home takes a long time to do? Does it last all day?
Toilets take 10 minutes. The mowing the lawn takes some time, and so does the reading.
Okay, the reading you mentioned 30 minutes. Mowing the lawn, what's some time? 20 minutes?
For us,
2 hours?
For us, it's 30 minutes to 40 minutes. For Ben's lawn, it's like 50 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay. All right. But
not include like moving around or filling up the gas.
So that's interesting when you're talking about when you become a parent. It's so cool to see your perspective right now. How do you find the way you're learning chores right now as you've been doing them? Do you remember the earliest age that you started doing things? Can you remember?
I think it was during COVID when we started folding laundry.
Really?
Or I can't really remember anything before that because I think we started putting away plates at a young age. And we started like sweeping because you taught me how to sweep like as if it was a paintbrush going up and down. And I think I learned vacuuming somewhere around 10 years old.
Well, I can tell you, I introduced laundry to you back in 2019, so you were 9 at the time. All right, how do you feel when your siblings don't help?
I feel kind of frustrated because I'm left doing all the work and they get to play, or I feel it's kind of like not fair. But then when I do it and I just done, I'm like, you guys have to do stuff just to like make it even with me. And I don't know if that always works, but I think they may feel like they have to do it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I just don't feel good.
No. Do you feel that you're a good example to your brother and sister when it comes to helping around at the house?
Sometimes. I mean, when they have trouble, I kind of tell them or help them. I mean, Kalani's kind of fine on her own. It's Kenzo that needs some help, like when he was washing the toilet. So I have to help him kind of like scrub or like tell him, well not tell him, but like
show him
how to use the blue thing.
The blue thing.
The blue liquid that you put on the
the Lysol, toilet cleaner?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just learned. I just taught him the other week.
Yeah.
How to do it. So with you, it was his second time. So.
And also I bring Kenzo into my lawn mowing things, like how to trim the edges.
Yeah.
With the scissors.
And why is it that he's so eager and so interested in helping you doing lawn mowing?
So we can get money. Part of that. And also because he thinks it's satisfying to cut the grass.
Okay, this is interesting. This is not part of the questions that you saw earlier, but do you think money would motivate you to do things in the house?
I would actually kind of want you guys to keep the money so you guys can pay for my food and clothes and different things. So I don't think it'll just motivate me. It's just like, you have to do it because it's your house. You're living in it. So you gotta do it.
Do you think that what you're learning now and what we do at home will benefit you when you become an adult or when you have your own place?
I think so.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, I know how to take care of my house so it wouldn't look like a dump, so it looks presentable to other people that come in. Mm-hmm. And I'd kind of like I wouldn't be like a slob, or kind of get like a feel of how to do things around the house without having to be like a huge chore. Mm-hmm. It'd kind of just be like, I know how to do it, I know the steps, I know how simple it is. And yeah, it just wouldn't be like a burden. Well, not a burden. It wouldn't be like a big thing like, I gotta do it.
Right. Do you feel when we have people coming over, whether it's like our own friends, like your parents' friends, or your friends, your play dates and stuff like that, do you feel extra motivation to clean the house, or do you feel like, it's just another day we clean?
I don't feel any extra motivation. I don't even look forward to it. When I look forward to them coming over. Just when they come over and people come over, we have to clean a bit more than what we usually do. And just kind of like
get the house ready so it's presentable.
That's why I don't want to have any sleepovers at our house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to clean extra?
And I don't want to take care of children as much.
Okay.
Because they can get wild at night.
Sure.
But yeah, because, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a bit, yeah.
And you know that, just so you know, that when the people leave and the play dates are over and the parties are finished, there's the after event cleaning. Did you know that happens?
Yeah, kind of. Like putting away the stuff in the basement.
And then washing everything and disinfecting and vacuuming and mopping. Did you know that happens? Mm-hmm. Did you?
Yeah. Well, I know the toilets happen after they poo.
Okay.
We gotta clean the toilets after someone comes over.
Right. Or when we have people over, and especially in the summertime, because it's like, everybody's in their, like, we don't wear shoes in the house, so their bare feet are in our house. So did you know that after your birthday party on Sunday that I spent the whole time mopping while I don't know where you guys were. I think you guys were out or you were playing downstairs or something, but
I can't remember.
Oh no, you guys were waiting for me to go to the movies at the pool, so I was mopping the upstairs and stuff. You didn't know?
No, not really.
Yes, always whenever there's a party, there's mopping happening. Why is your face like that?
Oh, I watched One Punch Man, and the guilty face was just funny, so I pretend to sometimes.
You're funny. All right, my final question is, what's it like being the first child? This is a random, has nothing to do with chores. You can add your perspective too.
I think that there's more responsibilities, and when I get stuff, it kind of like they have to get stuff, such as when I got my tablet for the first time. Kenzo and Kalani, who are much younger than me, got their tablet. And I don't know, I just like, I have to take care of them, but then I have to like kind of go through everything.
What do you mean?
Before, like how I went through high school first, I'd kind of tell them how it goes. And after they're kind of like prepared a bit. Or like when I went through grade 6 with Mama, and Kalani was always scared of her because, I don't know, she was a scary teacher, I guess. But when I told her that
she's not scary.
She's not scary. I guess, I don't know what that did. I guess I kind of helped.
Okay.
She got kind of prepared for Mama.
Yeah.
Or like when I'm doing presentations, I want to help Kalani. Because I've done a lot of presentations before.
Yes. And now I see that she's been doing them inside class, like without any kind of formal presentations, but that's good. So you find that you're, as a first child, going through the things, you help to pave the way for your siblings, but also the downfall is because you're the first child, because you get new things or whatever, they have to get them too at a younger age than you've ever gotten it.
Yeah, a bit.
And you don't think it's fair.
A bit, yeah. Like, imagine life was a maze
Okay.
And the maze was ever changing. And you guys were ahead in the maze.
Yes.
But in between you and me, the maze changed because that's how life. It's always changing. So I'm in front and Kalani's in the middle and Ken's behind me. And all the events that happen, I kind of like, I'm a human shield. And I take all the events and I tell them how it goes. So they're prepared in case they encounter any of these events. I'm the informer.
You're so cute. You're such a good brother. Most times, except when you're annoying them.
Yeah.
All right, Kai, thank you so much for taking the time to sit here with me and do this interview. Are you still nervous?
Not as nervous as jiu-jitsu competitions or swim meets because I have to do something.
You are doing something. You're answering questions and you're...
physically
Oh.
Swimming or wrestling someone.
Okay. Well, today you can continue doing physical things by continuing your chores after this.
2 hours of jiu-jitsu tonight, so...
You'll be fine. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to me.
All right. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to say it again like I did the last 2 interviews. What a cutie. But I'm biased because they're my babies. I hope after listening to this series of interviewing my kids that you got some insight in the kids' perspectives. I'm curious to know, did you know this already? Or what about maybe asking your own children what they thought about chores, their place in the home, and helping you maintain the house? And this could be totally dinner conversation or even driving in the car, going from one activity to the next. Who knows? You never know what's going to come out of that conversation, and maybe even learn a thing or two about them, about yourself, or even how they register information from you. Even if you think and you know, and you're probably right, that they don't like doing it. As you can see, my 3 kids do not like doing chores. Then again, I think there's a whole bunch of us that don't like to do chores because we just rather do something else, right? And what I also observed in these conversations is that no one likes to be interrupted. Interrupted when they're in the middle of doing something that they enjoy. And that's a human thing. Maybe whenever you find that your kids are giving you resistance to doing something, maybe it's just a timing thing of when we're asking them to do things. Now, I know we shouldn't have to always wait until they're free and ready to go. Sometimes we need to get things done because they need to be done, right? But what if we were more mindful of when we're asking things and what the situation is at home? It would reduce the frustration on our end. We can't change their reaction, but we can definitely work through our own emotions, our thoughts, and our reaction to things. And it takes a lot of willpower and thought for us to slow down. So just being mindful of these 2 things, slowing down, and of when it is that we're trying to get their attention to do things, maybe it's just that. It's because they're not on the same page as us at all. Whereas we're in a whole other level and other agenda. So that's where the slowing down part comes into play. It's a lot of testing things out, listening and observing your children, and also a lot of listening to ourselves. It's not easy, but with practice, conscious effort, we can get there. So I want to leave you with that. Have a conversation with your kids and see where it goes. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here once again. I so appreciate it. And please don't forget, if you would forward this episode or my podcast link through email or text to a friend, another parent who could benefit from listening to this podcast, that would be so awesome of you. See you next time. Have a great day and a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.